this talk is a little bit informed by that. I'm going to be talking about the one-eyed monster and telling you how to protect yourself against the evil eye of the ancient Roman way. And I have to admit, you probably can tell already, but I'm a lot nervous. Not really nervous because of the talk. I mean, let's face it, I'm probably going to suck, and that's good. That's good because it'll be good for my health. I'm actually really nervous because of you. There's a lot of you, and you're all looking at me right now. And even if you don't know it, just by looking at me, you can cause a lot of harm to me. God forbid, maybe some of you girls really like my skirt, you bitches. And I don't know, maybe, probably got it because it's all messy, but you might like my hair. I mean, stop looking at me, really. You might really hurt me. You might not believe me, you might think I'm really self-centered right now, but I submit to you the case of Samantha Brick, victim. If you've opened Yahoo at all this week, you've probably seen the poor, suffering Samantha Brick. Samantha Brick is a British journalist, I would say. She recently wrote an article for the Mail in which she decried the great humiliation that she suffered at the hands of other women. What has been Samantha Brick's crime? Does she eat babies alive? No. Is she a socialist? No. What has she done wrong? She is too beautiful to be alive. The images prove it. Samantha Brick, too pretty. You might think she has an easy life, and it does seem like she does. I mean, she boards a plane, and the captain immediately, upon seeing her, sends her a free bottle of champagne. That's never happened to me. She's driving around, and random men offer to park her car. She gets up a taxi, and random men pay for her. Why does it happen? Because she's beautiful. But she suffers nonetheless because of other women. Other women who don't let her advance in her job. Other women who won't be her friend. Damn them. But, you know, Samantha Bridge has made several mistakes. Samantha Bridge wrote about this, therefore calling more attention upon herself and the wrath of everyone who's seen her on the internet. So that's mistake number one. Whenever you have something that's good and new and shiny, you don't call more attention to it, people. And the second mistake that Samantha Brick has made is that she identified the enemy as women. It's not women. Her problem is the evil eye. What is the evil eye? I mean, you've probably all been looked at wrong at some point in your lives. You probably felt that the evil eye is something very common. It's something that we have known since antiquity. Even the Sumerians, who are the first people who have ever written anything down, believed in the evil eye. And I'm sure people who are not American raise their hands. Manolis, what do you call the evil eye in Greece? Yes, that's what he said. In the Hispanic world, we call it el mal de ojo. Anyone else from any other country? Really? All Americans? Yeah.
I'm American, but in Sicily it's the malocchio.
Yeah, malocchio. And if you're French, it's the mauvais oeil. And in Turkey, it's the nazar. Basically, the evil eye is any type of look that you can give someone that will cause them harm because of your envy. And the thing about the evil eye, I mean, in this case, I mean, she looks very adamant about it. But the thing about the evil eye is that sometimes it's not a thing that you can actually control. Because you might go around thinking like, look, I'm a good person. I don't look at my friends wrong. I don't envy them. But sometimes you really can't help it. Case in point. Who's that awe? There's no awing at the baby. Like, this person. Look at the puppy. Okay, spirit, man, your baby is super cute. You are inflicting them with the evil eye. Even the most well-meaning compliment will have some aspect of the evil eye. So you always have to be extremely careful about the compliments that you give. And what you do, say you're Samantha Brick and can't help being beautiful, or say you're the fat baby and can't help being a fat baby with a cute puppy next to it. How do you protect yourself? I mean, definitely you can do some things. You can reduce your exposure. But again, sometimes it's just beyond your control. Poor Samantha Brick will go to work wearing sweats. And, she wouldn't wear makeup around her neighbor's husbands, and still she didn't make any friends. So clearly there's something else that you need to do. Well, I myself protect myself the, I say, contemporary Mediterranean way, which is not the way that I'm going to teach you today, but still I thought I should be honest about it. The honest or the modern Mediterranean way, and this is true of Turkey and Greece and a lot of countries, is that you protect yourself wearing an evil eye amulet. Usually they take the form of an eye, so they look a little bit like an eye. The color blue is essential. The color blue is very protective. And also they should be made out of glass. And the idea here is that if someone gives you the evil eye and their friend, the blue amulet attracts the power of it to it, and then it breaks. And I can attest to this. I have been wearing glass evil eyes, and they do break. Joking. Actually, today I am wearing evil eye earrings, evil eye necklace, and actually, and I'll show you. But evil eye underwear. I have 2 pairs. Yeah, I won't pass those around because I actually use them. But there are many ways that you can actually protect your own person. But of course, it's not only yourself that's, susceptible to the evil eye. Clearly, I'm beautiful and fantastic, but say that I also get a new car. I need to protect my new car. Or say that I have a cute puppy. I need to protect my puppy. Or I move to a new nice apartment. I need to protect that. So there's many, many things that you need to protect. Say, again, your baby. Hey, don't say aw! You're killing it! So babies, you can put little cute evil eye socks on them and also little pins. Babies are super susceptible because everyone says aw. Your pets. So puppy, of course, you can give them a little cute t-shirt. But livestock is really important. Think about it. If you have a really attractive cow, like I see here, you will want to protect her against the evil eye. You see that she has a nice little evil eye crown on her. If you're an archaeologist like me, really important finds are going to be envied by every other archaeologist. There was a great find in the Mediterranean Sea. This is a Bronze Age shipwreck. This is the Museum of Underwater Archaeology in Bodrum, and I know you won't see it, but these are all the artifacts that were found there. Look at it carefully. Evil eye. And this is true of most museums. The most precious artifacts will have it. It's somewhere in there. You'll find it, the evil eye. Now, of course, the one place that you really, really want to protect is your home. For us, protecting our homes from the evil eye is quite easy. You just close your door so that no one can look inside to your happiness and your beauty and your nice new couch that you got from Target. And you place the evil eye on the door, facing outward, so that anyone who passes by can see it. And actually, it's quite cool, at least I think, that the way that this type of evil eye amulet works is that, at least for me, it reminds me when I see it that, oh, I shouldn't be looking, or I should be looking in a nice way. But again, this type of protection is mostly defensive, right? You're not actually casting another evil eye out, or you're not actually going out and actively attacking. You're just trying to protect yourself from it. And that's not the way that the Romans went about it. So if this doesn't appeal to you, please let me submit to you the way that the Romans dealt with the evil eye. I'm going to concentrate on the way that they protected their houses, although they actually protected their persons as well. I'm going to show you mostly evidence from Pompeii. Why Pompeii? Because Pompeii is a site that was preserved for us after 79 AD, when the catastrophic eruption of Vesuvius occurred. So most of the town was preserved under a layer of ash. Here we have a guy who died, according to a tour guide that I actually heard, while removing his contacts at night. That is a true story. But anyway, really good evidence from Pompeii. Now, Roman houses are very different from our houses, both in terms of their architecture and in terms of the space that they inhabit. One thing that you can see from the plan here is that they're actually aligned, so pretty much everything is on a line. Another thing that's really, really different from our houses is that the front is really nondescript. All Roman houses pretty much look the same from the front, so there's no such thing as curb appeal. Your house won't look pretty from the inside. Why is this? Because Roman houses were not private spaces like ours. You go into your house, you close the door, no one really sees your house. Everyone just sees the outside. The Roman house was always open. It wasn't only open for people walking on the street so that they could look inside. People were actually expected to walk inside into your house. And because of the alignment of the roofs that you can see in the plan, once they were inside, they would be able to see all the way from the front to the back. So everything inside your home was exposed to everyone. This was actually very useful in a sense, as you were a senator or a politician, you wanted to expose your house. You wanted to expose how wealthy, how powerful, how fantastic, how great taste in art you had. All of those things were very important. But on the other hand, it made you really, really vulnerable to the looks of others and to their envy, of course. And here I show you the entrance, which is probably the most dangerous part, because it's the part that's most accessible to the people walking outside. And you can see, again, these are ruins, and they're not really fantastically preserved. But even now, just looking at it, you can see how grand those interiors were. But again, the house is something that looks to the inside, not towards the outside. Now, the most dangerous part of the house, kind of any place actually, was this part here. And actually any place like that. So doorways are extremely, extremely dangerous. Why are doorways dangerous? Usually because when you are crossing a doorway, you are neither here nor there. So when you're in that space, you're not outside the house and you're not inside the house. When you're there, you're really, really susceptible to anything bad that can happen. So that's the place that you really, really want to protect against the evil eye and against anything, and that's where we're going to get most of our evidence from. Also, unlike us, the Romans had different ways of dealing with the evil eye. So they're not only going to protect, they're actually going to attack. They're going to go on the offensive, which is cool. And their offensive tactics will include actual offense, but then they also include the distract tactics. What is offensive to the evil eye according to the Romans? Many things. So it could be quite literal, like if you could actually feel the evil eye and take a knife at it, that's good. But also more subtle things, like the evil eye doesn't like light a lot. So if you can burn a candle, turn on a lamp, that's good. And the evil eye hates sound, so anything that makes noise will take the evil eye away. But most of all, the evil eye, because it's evil, hates laughter. Laughter is the polar opposite of the suffering that the evil eye can cause. So as much as you can laugh, the better you'll be protected against its powers. So think about that when we look about the images and see how they either make you laugh or make you make noise or maybe distract the evil eye away from you. So the first tactic that the Romans applied was the double take. If you've seen any bad comedies recently, you know the double take is basically the You look at it, whoa, right? You look back. How do they apply the double take? So, not as funny as an American comedy maybe, but they used to do the beware of dog mosaic at the entrance. So here we have a very ferocious dog at your feet. He's represented almost three-dimensionally. You're supposed to understand that he is right there at your feet. Even his shadow is presented. And just in case you don't get it, underneath it says Cave Canem, so beware of dog. Who is this for? I mean, who is the stupid Roman who's going to walk there, walk on top of the mosaic and be like, ah! Right? It's not really for a human being. No one's going to be actually fooled, regardless of how three-dimensional this seems. This is for the evil eye, right? This is for the spirit that's there to know that there's a dog here. Also, hopefully, if you're walking on top of it, maybe you will laugh because you stepped on the dog or whatever. So it's twofold. It's still an evil eye, will throw this metaphorical dog at you, but also people are laughing, so you're having this double attack. And it's not to say that there weren't puppies around in Pompeii, there were plenty. I know. Stop calling!
It's already dead.
He's dead. Okay, but there's nothing we can do about it. But, I mean, clearly we know that houses were protected by dogs, but these are not our type of beware of dog signs, right? It's not, oh, don't come in here because the dog will bite you. Actually, you're supposed to come into the house. The house is open. And in any case, they had slaves to keep the house safe, so they couldn't need dogs, even though they had them. So it's really not about that. We have many different types. We have this, other kind of mean-looking dog. He's so huge. He's as big as the door, and he's tied. So he's really not that much of a danger, but he's still kind of funny, lying there on the floor. And then we also have this kind of mosaic where the puppy has actually fallen asleep. So in that sense, he's really not that dangerous to the evil eye, but say you're someone who's walking into the house and you see him and you're expecting to see the usual dog, then you're probably going to laugh at this depiction. And those dogs are actually from Pompeii as well. Little known fact, Pompeii has many sleeping dogs. So that's a double take. Again, it's something that makes you look back and reevaluate. The other way that the Romans dealt with the evil eye was what I'll call the ugly French. And here I have this beautiful example from the cinematic classic, The Hottie and the Naughty. And hopefully you'll agree with me, despite the fact that Paris Hilton is right up front, and she's actually kind of elbowing the friend out, your eye cannot do anything but go straight into the naughty's face. Right? You can't. I mean, there's no way you're paying attention to Paris Hilton when there's that behind her. Probably you're also very much amazed that it takes this much to make Paris Hilton look seemingly less unattractive, or something. Less than appealing, I should say. But yeah, so what was the Roman version of the ugly friend? Basically, any sort of human that wasn't normal. And for them, pretty much anyone but them was normal. So dwarves, pygmies, people with one arm, people with cross eyes, people with 4 fingers, anything that wasn't normal would be, good in protecting yourself against the evil eye. On the one hand, because the evil eye would be distracted from your own perfect beauty and look at them, but also because you would be laughing. And why would you be laughing? Because you're a bastard. But also because for the Romans, any sort of physical deformity was intrinsically tied to a character deformity. So you were only ugly if you were bad. So you would look at someone like this and you could see that that guy on the top is a dwarf because it's pretty much the size of a chicken. You would see him and laugh because you would see, oh, he's a dwarf, but he deserves it because he must have done something wrong in order to look this ugly. So again, it's a twofold attack. You confuse the evil eye, you distract it, and then also you laugh. Remember, the laughter is really good. And then on the bottom you have some pygmies. I don't know what they're doing, picking fruit or something, but whatever they're doing is hilarious. Now, your best form of attack would be that, again, if you can attack like with a ferocious dog, you can. If you can distract with something really ugly, you can. What's the most grotesque thing known to man? Yes. Sorry, I skipped one there. This is the type of thing you would have in the front of your house. Remember that the front of the house was kind of not correct. But in this case, this one is actually cut out and put in a museum. I don't know why. But it's actually quite beautiful because it says, Hic habitat felicitas, so happiness lives here. But this is more what it looked like in context, right? So you walk in front of a house and see gigantic penis print. How does the penis work? How does it leave? I'm an archaeologist and a biologist. Anyway, so how does the penis work against the evil eye? So yeah, it's ugly and funny. So we have that. Especially if it's huge and erect all the time. Like, imagine, 4 hours after Viagra won't go down. Right? So it has that going for it. And then it's also menacing. It's menacing in that it can penetrate you, of course. So it has all of that going for it. Now, how can you really harness the power of the penis? Because, think about it, the dwarf was fine and the dogs were cool, but puppies were kind of cute anyways, especially the sleeping puppy. Let's make the penis ultra super powerful. Let's add noise to the penis. And so if you've ever had a wind chime in front of your house, that means the best that you get is penis wind chime. Please notice that this is not just a normal penis. This is a penis with a penis horn, and a penis tail, and a penis penis. So you can get as much bigger from your butt in one single object. If you're wondering why the penis of the penis doesn't have a penis, I mean, there's no answer. But as much penis as you can cram into one single object, the safer you will be. And then, of course, you have the bells that chime, so you have the penosity of it. And we have many of these. And also, he also has wings and he can fly. And he also has like lion legs, so he's ultra menacing because not only can he penetrate you, but he can penetrate you like a lion. So we have this one, we can argue about it. I think the first one's scarier because it has a penis horn, and this one doesn't have a penis horn, but it has a gigantic penis head. And also, the penis is really sharp. So, if you get stuck by this penis, it's gonna hurt. But you can, we can do better. I don't think you might not think this is better, but. So here we have a penis with a penis and a penis tail, and a girl is riding him, and she's actually crowning him with what is known as the corona cubica, which is the civic crown, which is a prize that's awarded to any Roman citizen who has saved the life of another Roman citizen. Indeed, right? And I don't know, I mean, it's pretty obvious from her position. I actually scoured the internet so that I could get the best shot of it. And you can see that she's slightly holding up her ass, and it's herself possibly being menaced by the penis tail of the penis. So, he is both being proud of being a hero of the state, while also menacing this poor little chick who's about to drown him. And then I will show you possibly my favorite, the penis gladiator. So in this case, we have a gladiator whose worst nightmare has just come true. His giant erect penis I brought you a scene from Gladiator, of course, in which Russell Crowe is being attacked by tigers. Except, he was able to kill all the tigers because they were not sprouting out of his penis. So I think this is like the worst case scenario in terms of penises. And again, it has little bells, so it helps you. And again, just in case you doubt the power of penis, I have this in the chair, and this, I brought the other one so you can see it in context. It comes from the very entrance of the house. And this house of a very, very rich family. They were so rich that they were able to boast about it because they were also able to protect themselves from it. So they can do both. They can tell you, I have a lot of money. But they can't because they have that guy with that huge dick in front of their house. How much money do they have? I don't know if you can tell, but the god is measuring or weighing his dick against a bag of money. So if you want to boast about your wealth, you better be sure that you protect yourself. I have a lot of money. I have a lot of dick too. This, by the way, is the god Priapus, and he is the one where we get the term now priapism, which is the sickness that you get if you drink, if you take, that's Puerto Rican me. If you take Viagra and your erection doesn't go down, right? So it's basically a god that has an erection all the freaking time. He does protect against any sort of evil doing, not only the evil eye, but also theft. And I brought really quickly an inscription that was found underneath one of the sculptures in Latin. I'll read it in the beautiful English. So it says, "I warn you, boy, you will be screwed. Girl, you will be fucked. A third penalty awaits the bearded thief." So basically, penalty for the boy, a young man, a young girl, and an adult male. If a woman steals from me, or a man, or a boy, let the first give me her cunt, let the second his head, and the third his buttocks. My dick will go through the middle of boys and the middle of girls, but with bearded men, I will aim it only for the top. And basically the threat there, which for the Romans was especially bad, was the threat of forced fellatio. I know that's kind of maybe hard to understand, but forcing someone to suck your dick was like the worst thing ever. So it is funny because it's funny, but it's also threatening because it's a huge penis that can split you down the middle and force you to suck it, right? So what do you do if the person has gotten through the entrance to your house and you still don't feel protected? You can still trick them into, falling into your protection. Say someone walks in, they're still looking at all of your property like, damn, this person has a nice house. You can always tell them, oh, do you see that figurine there? Why don't you grab it and bring it over here? Oh, you want me to grab it? Sure, just grab it by the top. Oh! I didn't see that one coming. Well, if it's too dark, and this was true, you probably saw there were big openings on the roof, but, the houses were actually kind of dark. They had no windows, so you had to have lamps. So is it too dark for you, honey? You need a lamp? Why don't you grab one of these lamps? Any one of them. Just walk around the house with it. And then what if, the person is inside and they already made it, and they're still not really, they're still giving you the eye, then maybe offer them a drink. Offer them a cup full of wine and tell them to drink from it, and maybe they'll find a nice little surprise inside. And by the way, I'm sorry, I don't have a picture of it full of wine, but you have to imagine that the only thing you can see would be the eyes, and the thinking you started drinking, the penis would come right at you. And actually, it's movable, so it goes back and forth. So it's actually forcing you to fellate it. I don't know how they would cover up the other tiny little penis, but that's hard to know. It's nothing in archaeology is certain. So what if all of this fails? What do you do? Then you have to pull out all the stops. You have to do everything that you can to protect yourself. And this is my last image that I wanted to show you. So this is the most you can do to it. So basically you have the eye being attacked by a bird, being attacked by a trident, being attacked by a sword, a scorpion, a snake, a dog, and of course a dwarf with a giant penis that's so eager to attack the evil eye that's going behind his legs and outward. And just in case, up there in Greek letters it says, and you. So always be careful if you're looking at me wrong right now. This is what's coming to you.